All right, hi everyone. Paul back. Decided to start on doing a series of reviews on boards. As someone that's ridden quite a few boards, if not most of the boards available, I thought that I might be one of the better people to write some reviews, or at least talk about the reviews. So the first thing I want to talk about is how I'm going to do these reviews. I want to set a baseline so that way it's easier for people to understand where I'm coming from, why I might be giving something a lower score or whatever it is. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to set the baseline at the board that I have the most experience with currently, which is the Onewheel XR. Also, because this one is not for sale, I thought that this might be a good baseline to hit and someone most people are familiar with at this point. So I'm going to set the baseline at the XR, which when I bought it was $2,700, actually $2,750 when I bought it. And the baseline is going to be a 5 out of 10. So that way we know where we're working with, so people understand where the reviews are coming from. My rule is that any board that I review, I had to have ridden that form at least 300 kilometers before I can do my review on it. That's the rule for me. All right. And so everyone knows, I will try to be as unbiased as possible. Everyone has a bias no matter what, but I will try to be as unbiased as possible. But my weight is 200 pounds and I'm just a smidge over 5'10". So if that helps anyone to where I'm coming from, I will try not to take my size and experience in bias, but I'll do my best. I'll try to keep these short, but for right now, what we're going to start off with this review is the Pint and the Pintx. This is what we're starting off with this time around. So I'm putting these two in the same video because when it comes to the way it rides and the way it's built, they're pretty much exactly the same. The only thing that's different between them is the battery and a little bit of the programming, I would say. Okay? So for pros on the Pintx, the build quality of this board is very good. I've dropped it lots of times. It's handled some rain, so the water resistance is good. I mean, I still don't recommend riding in water, but it's a good water resistance, and it's a very sturdy board. There's no doubt about that. You can drop off curbs and not worry about it, right? And etc. Do a lot of great stuff. I am not a big person that does some monster tricks or anything like that, so I can't speak on that, but I'm sure that the quality looking at it is great. The second pro that I've seen that I want to talk about is how light the board is. The board is incredibly light. If you want to ride somewhere, have to take the bus or hop on a train, anything like that, to pick it up is just almost effortless, at least for someone my size. So you grab it and you go in the office, you plug it in, hide under your desk, anything like that. It's smaller, it's easy to pick up, super light. It makes it great. Its small size is a pro that leads to that. That's why it's lighter. The Pintx is a little bit heavier, but still falls into that same category, easily being able to pick up and go. The size also allows it to be very nimble. So this is the third pro, I would say, is that it's incredibly nimble. You're able to turn on the spot. I can even show you a video of mine just basically doing circles right on the spot with this thing, no issues whatsoever. It can turn better than any board I've been on, probably just due to the small tire and the small form factor. It's great for that. It's incredibly fun to play with because of its small size. That makes it great for kids too and things like that. And then the fourth pro that I want to mention is the price, especially with the new price cut that Future Motion mentioned, that put forth. The new price cut really makes this a affordable, easy entry board that can get a lot of people hooked into this, and I think that's their demographic. Now I'm going to go with the cons. The biggest cons for me, actually, well, there's two really big ones that are really the only ones worth mentioning, I would say. I don't know which one is worse, so we're just going to say them both. The first is the range, especially the Pint. The range, I'm getting like 9-kilometer range when I ride. It's not great. But if I were living in a city and just hopping on the bus and quickly to the office, something like that, it's fine for little factors like that. But it doesn't do for hitting up trails or going on group rides and things like that. It just doesn't do. The Pintx gives you about twice that amount of range. I say about because it lets you go a little bit faster too, so you won't get twice the amount of range if you're going faster. Yeah, it's still, especially with all the boards we have nowadays, it's still not enough to handle group rides unless you're a really small rider. So the range being the biggest con, I would say, is something for me. Actually, just equally biggest con is the power and speed of it. Though I'm not too concerned too much about the speed on a small board like this. I don't want to go too fast anyway. But the power, it doesn't let you go up hills. There's hills in this city, and even though we're kind of more flatland here, there's still some big hills in downtown that the Pint does not make it up. Even on a paved road, it won't bring me up. It's just too difficult. The Pintx, I haven't tried it on that hill. Knowing the power, someone my size, it doesn't bring me up either. So the power increase of the Pintx is not enough still. The range is, it's nice. It's still not, the Pintx still not enough range for group rides, I would say. It's still too low. But it's incredibly fun, and if you're riding just a short distance with other people, it's fine, or short distance in general. So I wanted to give you some of my closing thoughts on this review to try to keep the video quick. The Pint platform is a great way to get into this hobby as a starting point, especially for the younger crowd. If you're just starting in, smaller rider, it's great, and things like that. I think that's the demographic they're aiming for, is that younger rider, that smaller rider, or just to get someone hooked into the riding, the hobby. But as a 200-pound rider that has a fair bit of experience riding, neither the Pint or the Pintx can really handle what I want to throw at it. It's great to have this board if I just need to rip over the corner store, but that's about all I do with it. I would rather just leave it to my son. It is nice to just pick up. It's very light. The Pintx can actually take me pretty far. But it doesn't have the power to take me any places that I really want to go. There's even some hills that are like paved and pretty steep here that it won't make it up.
the good thing is that really the demographic they're going for with the price drop that they've had, they're really aiming for the right way. I think those prices are bang on for what these boards are. It's a great way to go at it. The previous prices, I probably would rate this board 4, maybe 5 out of 10, depending on which board I'm talking about. I have to rethink it based on price. But yeah, with the new price, I think they nailed it. So I want to give this board a solid 6 out of 10. Yep, I think a solid 6 out of 10 for value and performance. I think that's pretty good, and it's a pretty solid starting board. Okay, I'm Paul. Thanks for watching. I'll see you at the next review.